Migration is actually, if you look into history, it's the norm, not the exception. In whatever period in history you look at, you will see that people were on the move, people were in exchange, students were moving around, intellectuals were moving around, craftsmen were moving around, and very often our populations are actually very mixed in terms of their genome. So if you look at me, for instance, I guess a little bit of a Roman soldier might also be around. I was born south of the Limes, so I think we should reconsider migration not as an exception, but as the norm. We have a very diverse population, it gets even more diverse, and people often only think about diversity would be just on gender and migration, but actually it's including old and young people, the difference between them. It includes people different to their educational level, to their employment, to where they live. So people should understand that they are part of diversity, every one of us, not only a certain group. My name is Andreas Edel. I'm the Executive Secretary of Population Europe. We are a network of more than 40 leading demographic research centers all over Europe, and we are focusing on policy advice, scientific policy advice. Yeah, yesterday we had a nice debate on that, what the identity means. So identity for me means that we have a subjective identity, so what we feel as our identity. And we have something objective. And the objective identity is definitely that we have national identities, regional identities, sometimes even local identities, particularly in Bavaria, where I come from. But we should also see that these identities only exist and were developed in contact to others. So, and actually we have a European identity, which is not conflicting with the national one. You have both. You have a local, a national, and a European identity. It's not in a conflict. It actually belongs to each other. Yeah, that's also a very important question because you can distinguish between social cohesion and regional cohesion, territorial cohesion. And social cohesion is, of course, what keeps us together. And so we have to maintain that. And currently we have a lot of debate about intergenerational fairness, but overall it's actually a question of social cohesion. So because it's important how we talk to people or how we discuss interests, visions, perceptions within our generation, but also between the generations. And actually social cohesion is the bridge of all that. That we find social rooms where people can meet across all social groups, across all age groups. And I think that's social cohesion, where territorial cohesion means that we have to see how we can balance out the different developments in cities and urban spaces and rural spaces. And that's a big challenge for the future, because there might be a situation that we have sometimes to say we cannot maintain all and everything everywhere. We have that currently in our own country, where people start to think about, can we really have a hospital around every corner, or do we have to focus that more in central places? And of course people are upset about that, because they lose social infrastructures. But on the other side, it's a debate we have to conduct in order to find a fair balance of interests across the country. It's really important for society that everyone can accept an arrangement which affects my living conditions. And we have to make sure that people understand that I cannot expect an opera being in the countryside and cannot expect a forest being in the city. So I always gain something and I lose something. If I move out of the city, I have cheaper rents, sure. But the doctor's not around the corner. And so we need to make clear that everyone accepts the living arrangement he or she is choosing. And we have to make possible that everyone can have the utmost freedom to choose how they live. And you can also see that in the terms of what you're often discussing in demography, the fertility rates. So everyone should have should choose how many children you would like to have, if you would like to have that. The society should support people best possible, but you cannot do all and everything in that regard. So it's simply also a matter of resources, it's a matter of individual freedoms, and so people should really have the best way is really to give people most of freedom in that regard, also in terms of family life reconciliation. And this all contributes to more resilient societies. To work in research management sounds a bit administrative, but the best thing in it is really the exchange. People who have different perspectives, researchers, policymakers, NGOs, so to learn from different perspectives, to have this access to high-level evidence, to learn from research so much. I'm a trained historian. For me, it's even more exciting to learn from social scientists about what they are doing. And demography is a wonderful topic because it deals actually with questions which all of us have in our everyday life in front of us. So all the decisions we have to make are somehow demographic. And then it also deals with the society and the population as such. So that makes it particularly exciting to be a research manager in demography. That's a great question, really a wonderful question. The first thing I would do, I would make people more aware what a tremendous gain we have through the European Union, and that they should be more patient. Just think about my grandpa was on the battlefields of the First World War, and he fought against French, Belgium, and other soldiers. My uncle was in the Second World War. This is just the generation before me. And we should, first of all, see it's a great attainment which we had. We have got a great, good achievement which we got through the European Union. And now we are friends, we are exchanging each other, we have no borders anymore within most parts of Europe. We should put much more in the foreground that this is a great achievement and be more patient. It takes time. How long did it take that Germany became a state? So we should simply wait a few generations, and I put much hope into the younger generation, honestly said, because you grow up actually in a European Union which gives you so much benefits in that regard, right? So that would be the first thing I would do, is say, people, be more patient and see what we have achieved. Follow VID. Follow it because it's so important for our future to really bring this link together between migration, identity, and democracy. And the future of Europe strongly depends that we get good answers on that questions. So how can we make sure that people understand that migration is essential, migration is important? How can we get better ideas how we can organize migration in a smoother way? How can we make sure that people understand that European identities are not conflicting, but actually augmenting their national identities, and that it's a benefit? And overall, that we can safeguard democracy.